Can you dwell a little more about your childhood, how you developed your Adivasiyat, things like that, and when you felt that you are distinctive, and at the same time you felt proud maybe of being an Adivasi?
On holidays, we were in the village playing, okay, climbing the trees, running about, and so on. And all that was in Kurukh, very much so. And we had occasions to sing and dance, right? And that was an occasion to come together and then enjoy the festivals and so on. Of course, they were all related to Christianity, Easter and Christmas and Freedom of August, of that kind. And uh, I used to go after cattle during the holidays.
Acha.
Okay, though in my mother's village, we didn't have our own cattle because lands were given to the neighbors to cultivate, and we would have our share from the proceeds. And yet, my nani, my grandmother, insisted that I should go and collect cow dung. And I liked it. You see, I had uh, the local bhar, as we call, in which we had to collect the cow dung and bring and then put it in a pit for compost manure. And so the days were spent with our friends, okay, looking after cattle, taking them to the pond for bathing and washing and so on, and come back home and so on, right? And again, school days as usual. Among ourselves, we spoke Kurukh in the family. That was very clear. And I conversed Kurukh with my father, with my mother, with my sisters, with my friends in the village schooling. Right from my childhood, I felt that my mother tongue was the language I must speak, and that's what we did: singing, dancing, conversing, and so on and so forth. Okay. In the school, of course, we learned Hindi and English, but back home we spoke our language. Okay. So that Adivasiyat, as you say, tribalness, tribal feeling was inherent right from the beginning. And it continued growing because my father and my mother were also examples in that. They were educated and yet they had their first choice to show that they were Adivasis. And therefore, the way of greetings, the way of singing and dancing, and the rituals that we had, we continually followed. And that gave us the feeling that these were the norms that we must keep up. So I learned right from the childhood days, and it continued growing even when I had formal education from middle school to high school. I was here again in the apostolic school because I opted to become a priest. So put up here in the minor seminary as it is called nowadays. And from here did my college studies. Okay. And uh, during this time also it was as vibrant as it was in my younger days. Tribal languages and ethos and culture, and that has continued ever. So, in the Society of Jesus too, there were no restrictions. On the contrary, uh, it was said that we must not only learn our language but also try to learn other tribal languages. You must
Other tribal languages.
exactly. So that was the it was made, and it has ever since continued. Uh, I was given opportunities to, in a way, have my career options, if you want to call that way. I took English honors, by the way, in the college here
Uh-oh.
because I loved English. And my dad was a voracious reader and still spoke Kurukh, still sang in Kurukh, and danced and did playing on the local instruments. You know, so also my mother. And I saw him reading and reading. I said, when I grow up, I also read. So that inspiration came to me. Okay. Later on, I came in contact with the foreign missionaries, you know, who have done great work with regard to our tribal languages. And I said, if they could do this, why couldn't I do this also in my own way?